Hello everyone, this is Miss Julia here at the Collierville Birch Library bringing you another virtual Crafternoon. And this week we are going to be making this no-sew stuffed animal. I turned mine into a lovely cute little worm or bug creature. This is customizable in some ways, I'll tell you that at the end, but for today I'm just going to show you how to make this guy here. So for this project you're going to need a sock. It could be an old sock, a new sock, whatever you have on hand. You will need one that's like crew size or longer if you want a super long stuffed animal. You can't use like the no-show type of socks because you won't have anything of substance for your creature. So yes, you need the sock. You'll need something to sort of tie each segment. So I have tiny rubber bands here. You can use thread, ribbon, regular size rubber bands, whatever you have on hand. You'll need glue. I suggest tacky glue or hot glue. You can try using white glue. I just find that white glue and plastic, like what I use with my Googly Eyes here, tends not to adhere very well, so I would say tacky or hot glue for your best bet. You'll need eyes. I have these lovely giant Googly Eyes. If you don't have these, you can use normal size Googly Eyes or buttons, or if you're using a lighter color of sock, you can even just color on some eyes. Same goes with the mouth. I'm using some yarn, but you can use string, you can color it on, you can use a series of buttons, whatever you have on hand to make the face of your creature. You also need scissors to sort of cut the mouth down to size. A pipe cleaner is what I'm using for the antenna. And I believe, and fluff. So you need something to stuff it with. I'm using this cotton fluff. You can also use like plastic bags that you get from the grocery store, maybe like fabric scraps if you have fabric scraps at home. So yeah, basically this is gather all the ingredients that you have at home to make your stuffed animal. So we're going to start off with our sock, and we are going to be making these individual segments. Now you see I started off with mine having like a really big head and then slowly getting smaller. You're welcome to do that if you'd like. You can do it all the same size, so it's more like a snake instead of a worm. You could probably do it in 3 segments, so it'd be like an ant. Depends on the sort of creature that you want to make. I think I'm going to stick with this sort of style. So I need my big head. So first you're going to take your fluff, kind of decide how big you want your head to be. I think this is a good size, and you're going to stuff it into your sock to the toe, all the way down. You can kind of squish it however you need, and you can kind of close it off with your fingers so you can get an idea of how big your head's going to be. I might make mine bigger, just so I have more leeway when it comes to the next segments. So let's stuff a bit more in the head. There we go. I think that's a good size for a head. And then you're just going to tie this off or wrap it off with a rubber band, whatever you're going to be using. Since I'm using the smaller rubber bands, I can just tie this twice. And it's good. If you're using a larger rubber band, you're going to have to kind of tie it a couple more times. And there we go. We have the head, and you can kind of squish it to it's the shape that you like. And you're just going to continue down the line like this. So I'm actually going to fast forward so you can kind of see how it works without having to wait forever. So here we go. So depending on how big you make each sort of segment, you can get about 4 or 5 in one sock, or at least for the crew size. If you're using like the knee-high socks, you can get a lot more in there. So this is the basic shape of your stuffed animal. Of course, now we're going to need the face and the antenna. So for the antenna, I'm just going to wrap around on the first segment here a pipe cleaner, kind of twist it together. like so, and then you can just curl down the edges, or the tips rather, so it looks very cute. There we go. And of course now we need our face, so I'm going to glue on the eyes wherever I want to place them. Again, if you don't have googly eyes, you can use buttons, or you can draw them on if you're using a lighter color sock. You could probably also use like fabric paint or puffy paint if you have that at home. You might even just be able to use regular paint, like acrylic paint, to paint it on. So I'll put it on either side of my head. And last but not least, I need this smile. I need to decide how big I want the smile, if I want it like really large, spreading across the entire face, or just like this teeny tiny smile. I kind of like the teeny tiny smile to go with the big eyes. Kind of like if I were to have small eyes, I would use like a really big smile. So you measure it however you like, or however long you'd like. And I put the glue on the yarn so I can manipulate it on the face rather than having it set on the face and not being able to move it however I want, if that makes sense. I don't know if I said that correctly. So I'm going to try and show you. There we go, just pat it down lightly, and I think he's a bit crooked, so this is what I meant before. If I had put the glue on the sock, I wouldn't be able to move the yarn around however I like, because the glue would be settled on the face, whereas on the yarn I can move the smile around. And don't worry if your glue is showing, the glue will dry clear, unless you have some sort of special type of glue. There we go. I think his smile's still a little bit crooked, I might move it over. There we go. It's easier when you have it facing you rather than trying to face the camera and do it. And like I said, that's going to all dry clear. And there you have your no-sew stuffed animal. Of course, I mentioned at the beginning that you can do different things with it. So if you did like the 3 segments for an ant, you could wrap the pipe cleaner around, and rather than having it up, you could have it down and making it into feet. You could use like fabric scraps to do like little tongue if you want to do more like a lizard. Or you could do this like all one size. I think I mentioned this before, with all segments being one size, so it looks more like a snake. And again, you could do that fabric scrap or ribbon scrap or something at the front to make the little tongue. But yeah, it depends on what you want your stuffed animal to be. Other than that, I hope you have fun with this craft, and I hope you all stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy the rest of your day.